the average person pays 5 to 10% more money for the same pre-sale unit in comparison to a savvy investor buying into the same project, completing at the same time, buying the same inventory. I've seen this happen hundreds of times over the years with every single pre-sale project. So what is it that these guys do different that saves them thousands of dollars in the buying process, which ultimately makes them a lot more money in their return on investment when they go to sell this property? And in this video, I'm gonna break down the 3 key methods that these savvy investors use every single time they buy into a pre-sale project to save thousands of dollars and ultimately make the most amount of money in any pre-sale investment. So without further ado, let me break down these methods for you. Number 1, they hire pre-sale experts over real estate agents. See, a regular real estate agent in the resale market is relying on MLS data and the market conditions and the product that's existing in the market to find you a property. Where on the pre-sale side, it's a very different market, very different ballgame, because these experts are relying on their connections, their expertise, their comparables of anything that they have seen in the market, because all this data is not on the MLS. When a project sells out, there's 0 deals that are recorded on the MLS, where on the resale side, every single deal in a finished product is now labeled and marketed and recorded on the MLS. So you can easily pull up a sold history of that building or that condo over the last 6 months, years back. But on the pre-sale side, you don't even know what the project next door sold for, let alone knowing what the same units are selling for in the same building. So pre-sale experts work in the pre-sale market because that's their expertise. They're looking at every single deal that's happening, most of these contracts that are being recorded, most of these projects that are being released. They have connections with marketing teams and developers to know what a fair market value of a specific product is and when to get good deals and what are good deals. That's the big difference between the two. And savvy investors hire these guys. Even though they have their own resale and real estate agents, they will find pre-sale experts that can find them the best deals to put money in pre-sale product. See, I get calls from people all the time saying, Uzair, I bought this pre-sale unit with my agent. I don't know if he can help me assign it or not. I need you to help me assign this unit because you work in this market. Can you help me out with this? And usually the first question I ask them is, what's your purchase price? What project did you buy in and what did you buy? And in many cases, I'll find they paid too much, bought the wrong unit, and it's not going to make them any money. And if they were to go flip it or sell it, assign it, there's no buyer for this because they already paid too much. And I usually can't help them because that agent that they bought with didn't know what they were buying, didn't know how to figure out a fair market value. And now when they're on completion, they can't help them assign because they've never done assignments before. So if you want to make sure that you buy the right product, get the right price point, hire an expert over a real estate agent. It's totally fine to have your own resale agent, but hire an expert in that area that is going to get you the best deal and take care of you when you're buying a pre-sale unit. Number 2 is the savvy investors buy in the early phases of every single pre-sale project. And because they're working with pre-sale experts, they get access to these projects. The developer is not going to offer an exclusive offering to the average real estate agent in the market because they know they do not have the buyer ready to go. The pre-sale experts have savvy investors ready to go. So if I get a call from a client saying, Uzair, I'm looking for a $500,000 purchase, I want a good deal, I want it in Surrey or Langley, whatever the area is, I know I pre-qualify them, I get them ready, I know when they're ready to go, and they trust my judgment. When I bring a deal on the table, they know it's the best deal. That's how we connect developers to savvy investors, and they're more firm on getting deals done, and they're both getting a good deal. Developer is getting firm contracts and ready to go deals within days, and then the savvy investors are getting the biggest discounts on their price points. I have seen from, like I told you, 5 to 10% discount from when the project is going to launch at a certain price point. That's how this works. 3 months ago, a developer called me and said, Uzair, we're bringing a project to market in spring 2025. I've got about 20 to 30 units that I want to move at a certain price point, which is way lower than what we're going to release a project at. Do you have investors that are willing to buy units before the show home is ready? And I said, 100%. What do you have? What price point? Let me take a look at it. I went there, met with the developer. We got the offering sheet. We looked at the price point. We looked at the disclosure statement. Everything was there. They were ready to sell the units. And the price point was $30,000 to $40,000 cheaper than what they were going to release when they were going to go public. And now the project has come to market and everyone can see it, the project being marketed, but it's $30,000 to $40,000 more than what my clients paid. That is how these investors work. These investors look for good opportunities. They're not emotionally attached. They're not emotionally involved. They look for good deals and they're willing to make a decision based on papers, floor plans, and the trust they have with their agents. A developer cannot sell a pre-sale property without filing legal documentation, a disclosure statement, the floor plans, the rendering, the strata plan. All these documents are required. Once they are filed, the only thing they're doing now is doing makeup for that show home where they can charge you the big bucks when you walk into a presentation center. Not every project gets launched with or without the presentation center. So when a developer says we need to lock down units, I take that opportunity to my clients and say, listen, we're getting a $30,000 to $40,000 discount on price. This is a great deal. The only thing they don't have is a show home to show you. Are you okay with looking at renderings online or on the brochure sheet? Most of them are, because they care about making money. They're not worried about walking into a show home that's never going to be the final product anyways. So they take the opportunity and buy first before anybody else. And number 3, they make the call and then do their due diligence. I'm going to break this down for you step by step, okay? So when you are working with an expert, you're going to get access to opportunity that you never would have gotten working with a regular real estate agent. Now you got the opportunity on the table. Imagine I brought you that opportunity on the table and I said, you have to make a decision on this. This is the best deal you're going to get. You don't have a show home to look at. You know what they say? They say, Uzair, if you think this is a good opportunity, I believe it's a good location, good product, good floor plan. We have all the information that we need to get into a contract. Let's get into a contract. Lock down the unit, because I don't want to lose the price and the unit right away. So lock down the unit. And then once we have the unit is, the price is fixed. The terms and conditions are negotiated. Everything's in paper. Then we do our due diligence. You have 7 days to do your due diligence on the developer, the floor plans, the disclosure statement. Any legal review that you want can be done in the 7 days. These savvy investors make the call, lock the unit down, because developers will raise prices if they feel there's a lot more demand. They'll say, guys, listen, we're just raising the price by 10,000. And guess what? I've seen this happen where investor 1 decides to pull the trigger. Second one says, I need a few days. Guess what? The second one doesn't get the deal at the same price. So once the unit is locked, the price fixed, you get into contract, your 7 days start. They do their due diligence in those 7 days. They're not looking to go and get opinions from friends and then write the contract. They're not going to go and get second or third opinion on the developer, on the disclosure statement before getting into a pre-sale contract. They do that after they get into a contract. That's how they get the best deals. That's how they get most attractive price points and the exclusive opportunity to buy into projects that have, you get the entire floor plate basically. Whatever unit you want, you get to decide you want to be on second floor, third floor, fourth floor, whatever it is, you get that exclusive opportunity, right? Once you pull the trigger, then you can do your due diligence within the 7 days. And I tell my clients all the time, pull the trigger, 7 days, we do our due diligence. If anything comes back that we are concerned about, cancel a contract, we'll find a better deal. No problem. That is what these savvy investors do. They are not emotionally involved. They have the cash, they have the funding, they're ready to go. They just need good inventory and be able to buy in first, and they don't care to see a show home, and they will pull the trigger and then do their due diligence. And before they give a dime to the developer, they have had the opportunity to look at the contract and review everything for 7 days, and then they give the deposit. And I'll tell you what, by the time the 7 days are done, the developer has increased prices by 10, 15,000. And then whoever bought in after, because developer doesn't give opportunity to one agent, they give it to 2 or 3 agents, right? And then it'll move around. The inventory will move around, and then they will increase prices as they see that it's being absorbed. They will continue to increase prices. See, most people want the return of what most savvy investors make, ROI, but they want to act like a normal buyer that wants to walk into a presentation center, wants to see the nice show home, wants to be able to feel and touch everything. You can't get both. In some cases, maybe, but in many cases, you do not get to see both. If you want to make money investing in pre-sale properties, there's a way to do it. There's a method to do it. Pre-sale properties don't exist for no reason. Pre-sale properties don't get absorbed by the average consumer. If it wasn't getting absorbed, developers wouldn't build them, and they're going to continue to build them. It's one of the best ways to get into a property. If this is your first home, get into a first step that you need to get into a property. And then for investors, this is probably one of the easiest way you can diversify your portfolio. You start with 5% in 6 months, and then on completion, you do another 10%. That allows you 3 years to now close on an investment property. But you started with 5%. And in those 3 years, if the property appreciates, you make money on the way up. So hopefully that gives you insights on some of the mindset and the methods these savvy investors use to get into pre-sale projects and save thousands of dollars. And most importantly, nothing else will matter. If you don't get a good price point, you're not making any money. You're not saving any money. So that's the way these savvy investors work when they're looking at buying into a pre-sale property. If you have any more questions, I'll leave a link in the description where you can book a time to chat, and I'm happy to show you what's coming, what opportunities are out there, and we'll go from there. See you next video.